Alright, I'm creating a new series because why not? Nobody watches my videos anyway, so I can just do what I want. But anyway, in this, I don't know what I should call this, a course, maybe a series. But anyway, series is fine. In this series of videos, I'm gonna try creating games in my level, at my level. And gradually I will try introducing new concepts into my games and try making them harder, more complex. And if you're watching this, you can maybe participate with me too. Do what I do. Or you can just watch, I don't know. But anyway, I want to start with creating a bullet hell game. Now bullet hell is a game genre where you just dodge bullets and that's it pretty much. But anyway, in the next videos, I should say over the next videos, I'm gonna create a I'm gonna try creating a bullet hell game with different levels, different varieties of difficulty, and different concepts, etc. So right now I already have a scene. I already created a scene right here, a small scene. We have a ground object, some walls to create an arena, an enemy. No, that's not the enemy. An enemy and the player object. And in our projects window, we have our sprites. I will try using all of these. And we have a material which I use with the walls right here. And we have our images. I tried this one, but I tried putting this in the ground object, but it didn't look very nice, so I settled with this. But anywho, let's get into creating this level, because I'm gonna go with level by level. Ideally, I want to create one new level on every video. But first, let's make our hierarchy a little prettier. We're gonna categorize these together. Player object. Enemy object. Alright, now that we tidied up our hierarchy, let's start creating our sprites. Not sprites, scripts. Now I intend to create and use new scripts with each level. So I'm gonna do lots of categorizing. Starting, we're gonna create a new folder, a base folder called scripts. Inside it, we're gonna create a second folder and we're gonna call this level 1. Let's first start with our player objects behavior. Now, what we want from our player is very basic. We want our player to be able to move left and right. And in addition to that, we want our player to be able to shoot. But this time not manually. This time the player is gonna shoot automatically on a timer. Okay, first let's establish our players' movement behavior. Let's make 5. For that to work, we need to also change our project's input manager. Is that what it's called? Let's see, where was it? There. We're gonna make this the input manager, not the input system package. Now we're gonna assign this to our player object. There, nice. In addition to that, we need to create bounds for player, just like we did in the previous project. So first, let's establish what our bounds are. And -50. Okay. 2 new variables, private, float, x. Now we're gonna set up our bounds by writing transform position. At every frame, we want to check our player object's x position to check that the x position is not out of bounds. So we can write I think that's all. Let's test again. Awesome, going well so far. Now we want both our player and our enemy to be able to shoot. So for that, we need to start creating prefabs. I think we can settle with a small cube for now. Let's see. Okay, we have our bullet prefab right here, just a tiny cube. We're going to start using this in the player object, player behavior scripts. First, let's introduce our prefab to our script. Public game object. Now to set up a timer, we need to have two variables. The first is going to be a fire rate, which determines how often our player can shoot. And secondly, we want a timer, the timer itself, which we will call fire timer. Now it's simple as this. With each frame we're gonna slowly increase our fire timer. And when our fire timer is equal to our fire rate, actually let's do a bigger equal instead of just equal. When this happens, we're gonna spawn in our bullet, and then we're gonna set our fire timer back to 0. Instantiate bullet, transform position, and co-turn in identity. That's all. Now our bullets are gonna spawn in, hopefully, but they won't move yet. Let's just test if they are gonna spawn. Oh, that is very fast. Hold on. Okay, that's much better. Now we want to create a second script for our bullets so that we can make our bullets start moving. But actually, before we start creating the script for our bullets, let's create the script for enemy right here. So we'll create the script for enemy right now, but after that we're gonna start creating the script for our bullets. Because in this level, both the enemy and the player objects are gonna use the same bullet prefab. Going to our scripts. We're gonna start with our enemy's movement speed. What was our players? 5. Then let's make it 7. Then public game object bullet let's spot bullet. The timer logic for enemy is the same with our player. We have a fire rate and a fire timer. Now, throughout the level, we want our enemy object to move from one end to our arena from the other. So let's start working on that. It's 15 for this guy too, right? Yeah, okay. Pilot float. Was it float? Yeah. X bounce. It's gonna be 15. Shit. Direction. first we'll start coding, we'll start implementing or enemy object going from one side to another. So movement from side to side. Transform, translate. Are these supposed to be opposites? Yeah, I think they're. Now, when these conditions are met, we're just gonna toggle our direction value right here. Okay, that's the movement script so far. Let's see if it works. What? Oh, right. No, it isn't work. It isn't moving. Why? No, cause I didn't. There we go. I didn't assign it. Okay, moving from one direction. Perfect, to another. Now it's gonna go back. Perfect. Now we just need to create a shooting mechanism for enemy as well. It's pretty much gonna be the same with our player. Our fire timer will increase with each frame. And if fire timer is equal bigger than fire rates, then we're gonna create a bullet at transform position, quaternion number sets back to 0. Then going back to our editor, okay, right now, both the player and the enemy can move and shoot bullets. Let's see if this is gonna work. Cool. But I think we can make this a little bit slower. How much did I? 8. I think 7 is fine. Now all we need to do is create. What is this? Oh, right. Get this out of here. Now we'll start creating a new script, a third script, and this one is gonna be for the bullets. Also hold on, I need to do something else. Now here's the thing. When our player shoots a bullet, we want the bullet to travel upwards. But when our enemy shoots a bullet, we want that bullet to move downwards. So what we're gonna do is rotate the bullets that are shot by our or enemy. Going back to our enemy behavior, we're not gonna make this quaternion identity. Instead, we'll write quaternion Euler. I hope that's the right rotation. It may or may not be the y-axis, but if it doesn't work, we can always go back to here. Okay, now onto our bullets. We want our bullets to have 1, a movement speed, and 2, a lifetime, because we don't want our bullets to linger in our scene forever. We want them to move through the scene, and when they are out of the scene, we want our bullet to be destroyed. We can start with 3, I think. We can see how that feels. Then private float, lifetime. Let's do 30 seconds. Let's start. We're gonna write destroy game objects, but only when lifetime is passed. So 30 seconds. At the start, we create a timer, a little timer. After 30 seconds, we destroy our bullet instance. But anyway, transform, translate, vector 3, 4, is it forward? Oh no. It is forward, okay. So we did vector 3 dot forward, movement speed, time data time. Then I think that's it. Let's test how our project is going so far. Damn it, I always forget to assign the scripts. I fear that. Shit. We want the enemy's bullets to move downwards, but right now they are moving upwards, just like the player bullets. How can we fix that? I wonder. Come on. No. How about we try? Come on, work. Come on. Oh, there we go. Awesome. It was an issue with our quaternion Euler. Now I need to drink water, hold on. Alright, I'm back. Now, I want to try something new. I want to try creating something new. I want to create a health bar for both the player and or enemy. So, to make it seem like some sort of a duel. You know, if the player loses all of their lives, all of their health before the enemy, it's game over. But should I make them cubes? I guess I can. Let me skip this actually. I'm gonna see you after the skip. Alright, we have a health bar right here and another one right here. Let's categorize them just we can. Health bars. This can be the enemy health bar. Let's call it enemy. And this can be called the player. Grabbing these, we're gonna put them in this. Let's create a new. Let's create new materials for these two guys. Enemy health bar. Player health bar. Let's make this red. And the player, I wonder if cyan could be nice. Let's see. I guess it looks fine. Not really amazing, but it's a minimalistic project anyway. Actually, hold on, let me try a few colors on. I will do a little skip. There, that's much better. Yeah, it looks fine, I think. But anyway, now the logic is this. So both the player and the enemy are shooting bullets, right? The enemy is shooting downwards, the player is shooting upwards. Now, when a bullet hits the enemy, this health bar right here is gonna thin out just a little bit. So the enemy gets hit by one bullet. This goes from 35 to 33. Another one, 31. Then 29. And all the way to 0. And when it is 0, the game is over. First, let me make an adjustment. The enemy and the player uses the same bullet prefab, but when spawning these bullets, we're gonna create a little difference so that the enemy doesn't get hit with its own bullets. And the same with our player. Enemy bullets, game object, tag, enemy bullet. And we're gonna do the same with our player behavior script. Player bullet, instantiates, object tag. What was it? Player bullet. Before we do anything else, let's test if this works properly. Now this should have a tag. Perfect, it has. And these should have a tag. Perfect. Whew. Now, what we need to do next is connect our player to our player health bar, and at the same time connect our enemy to our enemy health bar. So going back to our scripts or player behavior, we're going to introduce our player health bar to our player behavior script. Public game object. What should be? Let's call it health bar. We're going to do the same with our enemy behavior script. Now we're gonna create the interactions between our two objects and the bullets. Let's start with our player. Our collision enter. If collision game object tag equals to enemy bullet, then our health bar, I want our health bar to resize, get a little smaller. I think we can do that with transform local scale. Z. That doesn't work. Why? Whatever. Let's try this. Will that work? Nope. Well, nope. Why? Fine, let's try doing this. Local scale. Vector 3. Okay. Now health bar transform. Will that work? Well, it isn't giving any errors, so maybe it will. Okay, let's do the same with our enemy behavior script. Let's copy this, go to our enemy behavior. What? Player bullet. Okay. Is that saved? It is. Now we just test. Let's try getting hit by the enemy's bullets. No. Why is that not working? Oh, we don't have... we need a rigid body, right? We need these two guys to have rigid bodies. So we have a rigid body here. We have a rigid body here. Come on. Come on, get it. No. Why? Why are you not getting hit? Fuck, why aren't you working? You have a collider. So what? Do you need a rigid body too? Let's make you kinematic. Action. Yeah, we need to make you kinematic. Come on, man. Fuck. How about a trigger? Let's try making our bullets a trigger to see if it will work. So instead of on collision enter, we're just gonna write on trigger enter. What? Private void on not collision on trigger enter. Okay, I line this up. Come on, come on. Fuck. Oh. This is stupid, man. I added the fucking rigid bodies to my health bars, not my two objects right here. Fuck. And I was wondering why that didn't work. You have a rigid body. You have a rigid body. Okay. Please work. Thank God. Okay, that's awesome. But okay. Also, we need to change it. Hold on. Let's shorten the bull's lifetime a little bit. Let's make it 20 seconds. I think that's enough. Now we want to make it so upon collision the bullets disappear. Destroy other game object. Do the same here. Destroy what? Other game object. Now, let's see if this will work. If health bar transform local scale x is equal to or smaller than 0, then we destroy our game object. Let's also paste this to our enemy behavior script. So with each hit, our health bar takes a hit, or health bar gets smaller. Also, this isn't supposed to be z. This is supposed to be x, not. This is supposed to be z, not x. I made it wrong. There. So collision with a bullet happens, or health bar takes a hit, and with each collision, we check our health bar to see if its scale is any bigger than 0. If it's not, then we destroy our enemy or player object. Now what else can we do? feel like we have the basic gameplay loop made already. So let's see. Okay, the gameplay loop is there. Obuls are too slow though. Let's make them a little faster. Bullet. How about 10? I feel like this is gonna be too fast, but let's try it. Just for fun. Oh, it's not really fast. It's not really too fast actually. It's nice. But it's too hard to time my hits. Let's see how this guy's collider looks like. Let's make these colliders bigger. So click on this edit collider button right here. We're gonna stretch out our enemy's collider so that it's easier to hit the enemy. There, that looks really good. Okay. Should we do the same with our player? Actually, no, leave it. Okay, our enemy is taking some hits. Let's see if this will work. Okay, awesome. We have a basic gameplay loop right here. I think that's it for the first level or first video in this bullet hell project. It looks really unpolished right now, but we can fix that in the later videos. But how long is the video? It's 42 minutes. Holy shit. When did it get to 42 minutes? It's 43 now.